this thing up for us. It's a post-broadcast sound.
Okay, so we're live already. Okay, so introduce us. Okay, so I'm Monica Marlowe, and this is Marlowe House Presents Numenera, Forgetting Doomsday.
Hello, and I'm Andrew Marlowe. I'll be the GM today.
Tonight is actually a special presentation. We are participating in Extra Life, which is a donation campaign put together by a bunch of gamers for other gamers to game and earn and raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. Our facility of choice is the Children's Hospital, Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center. Tonight we are joined by some of our friends who will introduce themselves.
I'm not your friend. I got dragged in off the street for this. He said there were sandwiches, and I was in. I'm Scott.
Okay.
I'm Lissa.
I'm Deborah.
And for reasons that may or may not be apparent, at least one of our players has requested to remain rather anonymous, and so we are honoring that, but we also wanted to include her as a player because she's awesome.
Yay. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. So there should be a link somewhere that you can see for the Extra Life for our campaign, but certainly any campaign that you donate to for Extra Life will always help children in need. But Cincinnati Children's Hospital is a very special place to us. It is a place where we have had family members, where we have been ourselves, and for reasons, maybe it was a broken arm, maybe it was an illness that was just a little too much. Children's Hospital is the second highest rated hospital for children in the United States, and it provides a lot of medical care for children in the surrounding and internationally. People come from all over the world for surgeries, for experimental and traditional medicine. They provide a lot of services, and they do so with the assistance of through donations. They partner with Ronald McDonald House. They're partner with University of Cincinnati. They partner with a lot of really great healthcare providers. So they're a special place for us, and we would hope that you would consider donating to help them out. And with that, we will begin our game.
Yeah. Before we get started, though, did you include a link to our Extra Life in the chat?
Nope, but I will do that now. And while I do that, if you guys will introduce your characters, and then we'll get started.
So why don't we go ahead and start with Scott?
All right.
Who are you playing tonight?
I am playing a Larry, who is a tough glaive who fights with panache.
Is there anything about Larry that you want to share with us?
No.
Not at this time.
At this time, not particularly.
Okay.
I'm not at liberty to say. I am playing Sidri, who is a civic right who builds tomorrow, and I'm basically techie. I got my mix.
I am Yamu, a clever jack, excuse me, who shreds the walls of the world. Yeah, so that'll be fun. I do have an animal companion. It is a draka. The draka is basically a foot-long insect, sort of like a blue-nosed fly or blue bottle fly, so that'll be exciting. Yeah. But they can hurt animals and do all kinds of fun stuff like that. So. I know, it's a foot long.
That's too big for an insect.
Yeah, it is.
It's just too big.
Yeah.
And I am playing Ristum, an imaginative delve who dances with dark matter. So.
Okay. And remember, we do have camera coverage tonight, but this is still intended to be an audio podcast, so try to focus on describing what you're doing. And
I'm putting a link in the comments.
okay.
Oh, you meant in-game.
Focused.
As soon as you get that link in the comments, you can tell us who you're playing.
I did that
For
already.
Andrew's benefit,
Yeah.
I'm going to be descriptive very momentarily about how video works.
I know how video works.
Why did I help you set up?
Because you're awesome.
That's true.
We needed extra cameras, and there were cables, and it was a disaster.
Video works through magic.
Yes.
Everybody knows that.
It's not
Right?
magic, it's technology.
Same thing. Same
And when you
thing.
don't understand the technology, it's
It's magic.
indistinguishable from magic.
It's like somebody
Where I
wrote
come
that.
from, they are one and the same.
So, with that, let's get started.
All right, so for my benefit, who's from Ovon?
Scott,
Okay.
Yamu, and
I like that we both raised our hand, even though he said we have to be descriptive.
For my benefit, that worked. That was fine.
right. So from Ovan,
Yes.
Yamu and
And a Larry.
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 Process of
So-
elimination.
So so Yamu and Aleri, you're from Ovon, which is a small village on the southern end of the valley that the two villages in question sit in. You have about 600 people, many of whom have affinity for working with the Numenera, evidenced by the large number of installations that protect the edges of your village, help produce clean food and water, heal the sick. Ovon, your citizens tend to be a little insular. After all, where else would you go other than the Valley of Devastation, which you call the Harrow, or the town of Zeph? The village leader, a woman named Lalila. Sorry, I'm like trying to.
You're on camera.
It's okay. Don't tell him that. He won't know.
We can edit some of this stuff out, right?
Yes.
Dang it.
Live. Ooh.
Sure.
Let it in post.
Yeah. We have what, one viewer?
Yeah, and I knew who it is, so he's very forgiving.
Well, thank you.
Okay. So Ristam and Sidri, you're from Zeph, which is a small village on the northern end of the valley. It's larger in spread than Ovon, but it has about 100 fewer people. There's only about 500 people in Ovon. There's land for raising crops and animals, as well as community gathering spaces. Zeph inhabitants call the valley between the towns the Agony Fields.
We're a little darker on our side of the
It's
on
the
our
Harrow.
side of the valley.
The village leader is a man named Blaze, and he's been trying to encourage exploration. But while few have followed his suggestions, because most have no desire to venture into the space between.
No man's land.
Yes. So, beginning in Ovon, you're kind of doing your regular morning walk of the town with Aaliyah.
Lilia.
And Lilia is a tall, broad-shouldered woman with a voice so quiet that you have to kind of lean in sometimes to hear her. And most people agree that that's probably an affectation, but it's effective. She does this whole, she speaks so quietly, and people pay attention. She's been the leader of the village for 6 years and has easily earned the respect and loyalty of the villagers. She is simultaneously both fierce and tender. She seems to know everyone by name and genuinely cares for those in the village as if they were members of her own family.
Well, there's only 600 people. I mean, it's not that hard.
Oh, yeah, it's a village. So you're doing your kind of like wander through town, and she's doing her meet and greet, and she's talking to people and making sure everything's okay. When there is this sound that bypasses your ears, and you can actually hear it straight in your brain.
Ouch.
And it is a loud, sort of piercing pulse sound that just echoes through your mind. And you kind of have this. It's accompanied by a sense of disquiet and unease, as if you'd forgotten something important that you were supposed to do.
I immediately look around to see if there is any visible source of what could be causing this.
Probably somewhere out in the harrow between the towns.
Okay. Does it appear that we're the only ones affected, or does
Everybody seems to be able to hear it.
Okay.
Everybody's kind of giving they're looking at each other. You can hear little voices going, is there something we should be concerned about? Worry? There's alarm? And a lot of cross conversations go on in the immediate sort of moment. The alarm kind of fades, and Lilia smiles, tells everyone it'll be okay. She looks at the two of you who have been on the morning walk with her, and she says, "We should gather your equipment. We should meet at the." She stops. Let's gather your things. Meet me at the gate. Let's go quickly. So 15 minutes tops.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you on your way. Meanwhile, the same time in Ovum, Blaze is a fairly kind of big, boisterous sort of guy, and he's standing around. His leg makes this funny whirring sound as he moves it because it is metal and cybernetic. And he kind of gets around with a cane. The little bit of the leg he has is, but he's got this kind of little bit of a limp going on, and you're enjoying the morning and kind of doing morning briefings with him, and this sound again pierces out of the agony fields, and he kind of stops, looks at the two of you. We should investigate. I think I remember a time, I seem to really, it occurs to me that this has happened before. Make sure you're well equipped. I think it was a giant bird or a bat the last time. Details. But gather your gear. Meet me at the gates in as quickly as you can.
All right.
Can do.
Limps off.
It's not much for sneaking.
No.
So
We go get our
guys-
equipment.
anything that you guys think you want before you head into the harrow that you may not already have?
Everything on
Yeah,
this sheet.
Yeah, everything
That you may not have on your sheet,
Okay.
in case there was something that the designers opted to not get for you that you feel that you need to have.
I mean, like real armor.
Shauna did a good job.
So explorer's pack, that includes rope, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All
I'm
we
good.
really need is rope. As long as you got rope, you're good.
As long as you got that, you're good.
It's just to have the rope. My dad always said you got to make sure you got to have certain things.
Yep.
Rope is one of them.
Rope is one of them.
I have clothes, so I'm good.
I have a pole arm.
I have my shocker.
Zap. So Deborah's carrying a taser.
Well, you know, girls got to have some protection.
All right, so I think we all meet our respective leaders and their...
ASAP.
So,
Add some medium armor.
You're not adding medium armor. You only have 3 shins.
I'm a glaive.
so, Blaze gathers those of you in Zeph at the gate, and he's still telling a couple of the people at the who are guards in the village guards. We're gonna be gone for a little while. Everything will be fine. Like I said, we've seen things like this before. We've heard things like this before. I don't remember what we saw the last time we heard this alarm. It doesn't matter. It was before, but it was bad, and we need to get on our way. And so, we're gonna get going.
We're ready.
Yeah. Oh, you're here. You're here.
We have everything.
We're here.
You have everything you need?
We have everything we need.
All right. Then we venture into the wilderness, into the agony fields and the unknown.
We're ready.
Get to red adventure.
We should probably go. Start walking.
So you head out into the agony fields. In Obon, Lilia gathers all of you together, and is everybody ready?
Oh, both of us?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you both ready?
Sure. I'm always
Ready
up for
as we can be.
All right. You've got everything you think you need.
Let's.
You're certain you've got all the equipment that you think you're going to need out there.
Backpacks and stuff.
Let's hope so.
Okay. She fishes around in her pouch, pulls out a device, adjusts a large dial on it, and fiddles with a few other little knobs and things on the sides of it, and it gives that this little boom, boom, and she's like, oh, this should help us find it.
Oh, good.
Sorry.
And so she follows the signal on the device, leads you out of town, and you wander out into the unknown. The landscape around the village is more or less what you would kind of expect. There are some signs of ruin and things around the two villages, and you kind of head down, pick your way out of Ovon down this small trail, and you pass beneath this toppled obelisk, and it's got runes that go up the side, and one of the great big ones that has always kind of caught your attention is this large, kind of almost circular moon shape, almost like two moons touching one another.
Mm-hmm.
That is the seal of Ovon. And you kind of head underneath this image of these twin these twin moon slivers. At a Zeph, Blaze has a different way of traveling.
Imagine that. I know, I'm shocked.
Blaze is sniffing the air. Every so often he stops and he picks up a bit of dirt, rubs it between his fingers, listens to things, tastes the dirt.
You know, there are things in there that would make you sick.
Okay.
Don't do that.
So, you all know that we're heading towards Ovan as we head into the Agony Fields. Eons ago, Ovan and Zeph were allied villages. And he kind of leads you further away from the village, and you kind of head down through these, rocky passes, and he shows you, not that you've never seen it, this obelisk standing proud and tall near the area with this lightning bolt sigil on it. And he says, "That is our proud village monument, the sign of Zeph, eldest brother to Ovan, the two brothers who founded our towns." And he stops as if he's going to and he kind of leans back against it and looks at it and says,
It's big.
It's important to know our history and to remember how it is that we came to this place and why the desolation that exists between these two villages is here. Do you recall?
Is this a story we've heard a lot?
You've probably heard it before.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You told it to us yesterday.
Probably. And the day before that.
The last time we were out here, too,
And last
definitely.
Well,
Definitely then.
But the village is, they went to war. The brothers once worked together on all sorts of things. But, well, Ovan was jealous of his brother and set to making bad decisions, and it is what it is. But,
Can you talk and walk at the same time?
oh, break the alarm!
We
My
have-
mistake.
I think we're in a hurry.
My mistake. So he kind of leads you down and away from the village, and you can see, as you head down, you can see what appear to be ruined turrets, old gun emplacements, that have been, damaged by time, by impacts and war, and I mean, there's Numenera all over out here. As you kind of come down into the valley, and this goes for those from Oman as well. As you come deeper into the valley, the entire area is just crisscrossed with signs of damage and desolation and decay. But there are also amazing structures and things to be seen.
I am taking note of them all.
I'm definitely eyeing every
So I actually
Rolling my eyes at all of them.
Rustum actually has a special ability called Familiarize, which if you study an area, even a region up to a long distance, that you are able to directly access and move about in, she can improve her abilities to interacting with that area.
Okay.
So it does say at a long distance. So as she moves across the space, as we're looking into the distance, start to kind of familiarize herself with it as she comes across it.
Okay.
So you're casing the joint.
Yes, I am.
Got it.
So Oban, as you come through, Lilia, following her little device, instead of ding, ding, heads through what appears to have once been a large greenhouse of some sort. As you head inside, the air is filled with the scent of floral decay. It's kind of got that really pungent odor. And she kind of picks her way. You can see where there are tanks that are overflowing with these blackened, just blackened leaves of something. They were plants of some sort, but they are now dead and rotting away inside. As you head across, you can actually see emblazoned on the floor, about midway through the area, the sign of Oban.
Okay.
Same seal. It has a tremendous crack that runs through the middle of it, bisecting it, and there are small weeds and a number of grub-like insects crawling in and out of the cracks and on the leaves of the mossy weeds that are coming up out of it.
Sure.
Maybe your bug friend has friends.
The bug's like, he's checking things out.
His name is Jeff, by the way.
Jeff.
How do you spell that?
J-E-P-H.
G-E-P-H.
There it is. Joeph.
J-O-E-P-H.
G-O-E.
That's too close to the Toys R Us giraffe.
So,
Well, it's not like he's getting any older now.
Oh, too soon. Too soon.
you kind of have this feeling as you head through it, and Jeff's kind of buzzing around, and you head through the other side. That there's this sense of unease continues to grow
Is there a reason we walked through the greenhouse as opposed to around the greenhouse?
because she's following the signal.
Could you have the thing that goes ping?
Okay.
It's an important machine.
It is.
Man, I hate when the plot train takes it right on through.
There are movies that would not be made if not for the machine that goes ping.
True. Very true.
Comes getting my new stuff.
Yep. Sorry.
Sorry.
So you make it through. You go through the greenhouse with no other with no difficulties, but the sense of unease and continues. And
We'll withdraw a razor ring.
okay, so you draw your razor ring. The Seth party, you guys are continuing your way through, and again, there's a sense of disquiet and unease growing, maybe almost bordering on nausea, because it's that sort of like unnervingly stressful. About the same time, both groups stumble on an old installation together. There is a
Do we see each other?
you kind of see each other as you come through, but the first thing that really draws your attention are these like metal spheres laying on the ground. They're 3 metallic spheres in the ground, blue tubes running between them to form an askew triangle about 6 feet on each side. And you can see, the other group approaching the triangle, more or less strangers to you. You see those of you from Ovan see a large man, a short, but he's kind of heavy set man with a gleaming metallic leg and a cane, leading. And what does the Seth contingent look like?
So, Rustum apparently has a very interesting headdress. Sort of looks kind of like a big helmet with almost like tentacles. It looks like a pirate hat, but it's got tentacles on it because tentacles are cool. And while it says a pole arm, it actually appears to be a great big electric cattle rod. Nice. So I'm not sure.
It's like a shock collar on a stick.
Yes, it does. So I'm not really sure that that's actually what the pole arm looks like. I imagine something a little.
That may be an upgrade.
Yeah, I imagine something a little less tennis rackety looking, but that is what the image of my character looks like on the sheet.
Gird your bug.
Yeah.
It's one of those electric fly swatters.
And then Sidri.
Sidri basically looks like a robot. He's just a metal man. He's got like wires on exposed arms, and then kind of like metal plates, like you'd see for like getting your hair colored, but that's his hair. It's just the layers of plates.
So you're not getting highlights.
No, no. But I can give you a really good sunburn
Awesome.
if you just stand right over me.
So it's to get a tan.
Yeah.
That's what we do when we're hanging out. Oh, those zephyrs. Rustum is apparently very
So
tan.
what does the party from Ovan look like?
One of us looks like a youngish male carrying with a metal ring in one hand, like the chakrams, I guess they were called, that Xena would use in her show. Dressed in very stylish clothing. Extremely. It says extremely here.
Extremely stylish.
Extremely stylish.
Well then.
You do have panache.
I do have
You do
panache.
have panache.
He's also packing a bow and quiver, as well as a jeweled great axe.
Wow.
And
Wow,
you're
you
using
are
the
really.
chakram?
I was going to say.
Rich parents.
Yes.
There you go. So Yamu is sort of a largish man, which is odd since I have lots of speed things. But he's got sort of a big metal canister on a bandolero kind of thing, and he's got a big round disc in his forehead, kind of a la Vision.
Oh,
Yeah. Apparently, I've got an infinity stone in my head. Who knows?
awesome.
It could
Right?
cause problems in the future.
Well, it could.
Depletion rate 1 out of 100.
But he's also got sort of leather headgear with goggles, like flight goggles looking
Nice.
kind of thing. Yeah. So, and then lest we not forget Jeff, the foot-long insect.
The foot long.
Now, is it blue?
Lilia, and again, Lilia is a tall, broad-shouldered woman, and she steps to the front of the group, kind of looks out and says, "Hello."
Rustum kind of holds her pole arm in a defensive fashion.
Sidri kind of does that 2-fingered salute, real casual.
And Blaze is like, "Why, hello!" And he waves with his cane.
He's
and his
always
wide arm.
embarrassing us.
And
It's like adventuring with your dad.
It's like adventuring with Bob.
What size pantaloons do you wear? I don't know. Why don't you check?
Blaze!
This is why we let him go first.
Yes.
Not because he's the leader, just because he's the loudest.
He does it. He just goes.
He just goes.
Right. So Blaze puts his cane into the ground and starts walking very with this kind of like, you know, odd three-limbed gait that is overkill. And he moves towards the others.
I don't know.
Broad grin on his face, waving now, you know, with the other hand.
He does know they're from Ovon, right?
I thought we weren't friends.
I thought we weren't friends with them.
Yeah, how do we take this kind of an overture?
Aggressively, probably, isn't it?
Aggressive exuberance.
Opening salvo of war, maybe.
To be honest, Ovum and Zeph have not really had much contact recently. There is definitely a sense of why would I go there that kind of permeates both villages.
But it's not so much bitterest, direst enemies that we want to kill on
Not
sight.
anymore. I mean, it's been a while since.
So it's kind of
shots were
it's
fired.
kind of like you've got the option of Columbus or Dayton. You're gonna go to Columbus.
What? No.
Mean.
I mean, Cincinnati and Dayton, there might be a toss up there, but really, Columbus and Dayton, you had to go there. Sorry, all my friends in Dayton.
Well, your friends in Columbus, you said Cincinnati was a clear.
No. I said
That's where
Columbus
she
and
lives.
no, I said
She has
Columbus.
to say that.
I said Columbus and Cincinnati were a closer draw than
Oh, you
Columbus
said- you
and
said
Dayton.
Cincinnati and Dayton, I thought.
No, Cincinnati and Columbus. Yeah, no, Columbus and Dayton. There's no competition there.
It's more like Dayton and Toledo.
Yeah, no.
Do not besmirch Klinger's hometown.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
All right,
All right.
moving on.
It was
Now
going
that
to
we
take us
started
4
a
hours.
turf
Now it's going
war.
to take us 6.
So, Blaze and Lilia, step to the side kind of thing and start talking quietly. And
I believe that she does. I don't believe that he does.
Yeah, no, we
Not
can all
for-
hear
not
what
for a
he's saying.
second.
We can all hear what he's saying.
he kind of looks at you and he's like, you know, you all
Go play.
know things about the Numenera. Yep. See what you can see.
Yeah, Ristom's already started of taking in the area,
Okay.
trying to familiarize herself.
So, as I said, there's a triangle of these orbs sitting on the ground. They're fairly good sized orbs, and then there are the tangle of wires between them, making the triangle, and then out of the ground, half buried in the ground, is a it's hard to tell exactly. It's kind of got an irregular bit of shape to it. It sticks up about 5 feet above the ground and leans sideways so far that the top reaches outside the triangle and only rests about a foot off the ground. It has a metallic shell, but you can see pale blue lights moving around inside this unusual semi-toppled obelisk.
Okay, well, my first action is that we discovered something, so I'm giving us XP because you didn't.
I was got to do that. You're not really supposed to help yourself do it.
I didn't.
Thanks, GM.
You're welcome. They're over here.
I know.
Should we move them closer to you so they're more visible to you?
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't mind having them.
You'll have to.
This is true.
It's a lot more fun when I have them.
Right?
No.
It's like Halloween.
We've been playing for 2 games. I'm already tier 5.
That's how I roll.
Speaking of rolling, I am trained in tasks involving identifying or assessing danger,
Okay.
lies, quality, importance, function, or power.
Okay.
So I would like to assess these.
Assess the devices.
Yes.
Okay.
So, remind me what I do now.
Okay. So, how much do you want to put any effort into this?
Very blasé.
No.
That's Blaze.
Excuse me. Yes. He calls out from the side. What?
No, I think I'll just go with the standard sort of,
Cursory.
glance. Thank you for
All right. So go ahead and make a roll.
on my 20-sided die.
If you're just gonna make a cursory glance and you're not gonna put any effort into it, go ahead and just make the roll, and I'll see if you succeed or not.
I rolled a 17.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
Good start.
that is a good start. So, as you look around, first thing you notice is that there is a you are from Ovan, right?
Correct.
Yes. So you notice right away the symbol of Ovan
Haha.
emblazoned on the device, the half toppled over piece. But it has this strange marking that you're not familiar with that runs through the middle of it.
Haha. Look, it has the seal of Ovan on it.
All right. So Rustum is good at salvaging Numenera.
Well, so
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
So when she or he
Sorry. It's always tricky with
Them when they point that out.
when they point that out, those of you from Zeph immediately see the symbol of the lightning bolt symbol of Zeph running through what appears to be a pair of moons.
Okay.
because I thought we were going for huge tracts of land, so that's good.
Yes.
One day, lad.
Sorry.
So, you're obviously mistaken. That has the sigil of Zeph on it. See, right here. Looks a lot like Harry Potter's scar.
No.
Trademark infringement.
Pretty sure that's our peanut butter.
I'm pretty sure that this is my chocolate. Your peanut butter to my chocolate.
So,
Sorry, Andrew.
Sidri has memory lenses, which are goggles that allow me to record everything I see for 130 seconds.
Okay.
No, not 100. 90 seconds. And I can store it permanently in my long-term memory. So I am going to just do like a circle around everything, like this structure here, and just record
Okay.
whatever I see
Okay.
for
And-
future reviewing
Right.
purposes.
The other thing that you noticed, yeah, that was the first thing you noticed, was that there was the circles on it. But there does appear to be there's a panel in the device, kind of underneath it, where you can see that it fell a little loose. It looks like. And has blackened, and you can see where smoke has come up along the outside of the device.
Oh, that's never a good thing.
It's no longer smoking, but you can see that black residue,
So it was recent.
fairly recent.
Well, all right then.
The final thing you notice is there appear to be smudges in the soot.
Are they like paw print smudges? Are
It's
they
just smudged. It's maybe a quarter to a full inch in thickness, depending on where it is, but it seems to like slide past or through a good chunk of the debris or
the soot?
soot that goes up the sides.
So we can all see that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Blaze, somebody else has already been here.
Or something.
Or something.
Blaze gets over. Could just be. Could be anything.
It was clearly on fire, man.
Yeah, looks broken. Looks like it's been damaged.
Something fell into the soot.
Yeah, it's probably damaged during the war.
I'm pretty sure this is more recent.
Well, some of it's more recent, but
I mean, can't you smell that? I mean, you smelled your whole way from Zeph to here.
he raises his hand. Actually, it's like I'm not arguing that. The bulk of the damage looks like it was done long ago, and he motions to how it's like buried in the dirt, and what caused it to finally
Explode?
do that. He kind of shrugs.
Now,
You're pretty certain that there's probably more to be seen, but you would have to get a much closer look at it. As you're doing your walk around and you're like, recording things and paying attention, Sidri can see a matching pair of what appear to be wrenches
okay.
sitting right next to each other in the dirt near the device.
I'm definitely going to take a closer look. I am trained in engineering, so I want to check this out as best I can.
You get closer, and maybe it's not a wrench, but it has that same sort of shape.
Some kind of tool.
Well, it might have been a tool at one time. They might have been tools at one time, but they're old and decayed and just kind of sitting in the dirt. One actually appears to be sitting more to the surface of the dirt than the other. The other one is almost covered in the dirt. And they're about 1.5 feet, 2 feet long.
Okay. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Can I try to pick one of them up, like the one on the surface more?
The one on the surface more? Okay. So you start to pick it up.
Uh-oh.
Oh, good. Kick it off a little. Oh, good, too.
You get to keep one and pass one to somebody else.
Okay. I'll give it to you since you're my
Okay,
buddy.
since you're my buddy. So that was an intrusion.
That's an intrusion.
Cool. You're welcome, guys. That's what I'm here for.
I mean, they were just lying on the ground.
I mean, I already gave them
they
a
were
scar
asking-
when we were kids.
I mean, they were
so it's just
asking-
par
Throw
for
it
the
out there. You
course.
could also spend the one you have before and ignore the intrusion.
Nah,
Yeah, but what's the fun of that?
I want XP.
I'm a hoarder.
I've never seen anybody ever refuse one. All right, that's not entirely accurate, but the number of times I've seen it refused, very small.
I mean, what's the fun in that?
Exactly.
They literally have a scar from
So
childhood because of me, so this tracks.
the tool that you pick up kind of goes a little limp. It gets soggy
Well,
and takes on
You had to.
kind of a more slug-like appearance.
Ugh, gross.
And as it does so, part of it forms into these metallic-looking spikes that come out of the back of it, and they pierce right through your hand and cut.
Well, now I'm just disappointed because I wanted a
Go ahead
wrench
and take
thing.
3 points of damage.
Okay. Where
and it does
is
this
my...
very quickly. And
Oh, it's
you gonna try to keep
your-
a hand on it, or do you drop it
your might's up here.
in this shot?
I'm gonna drop it.
It's the top one.
Oh, okay.
This is what it looks like.
Oh, gross.
I don't know if I can't see yet because
For the audience.
yeah.
For
Ugh.
you.
Metal slugs.
Yes.
And it's still like 2 feet long.
It's translucent and gooey.
Ugh.
And it's now only about a foot long, but it's no longer quite as stretched as it was. It's more,
It's fatter.
yeah.
Gross.
Has dangerous looking ridges along its edges. Until it has, it's sliced you up good, so
Yeah.
you can tell it's got some.
Oh, Larry, go.
Ow.
Yeah, I think responding to that is probably our next actions.
Ow.
So, Sidri gives a yelp of pain, drops something to the ground. What are the rest of you doing?
And then my arm
Going
falls
to
off.
help and rolling initiative.
All right, so let's do that. Let's go.
Ooh.
Oh, no, mine's not much better, so you're fine.
All right, so Monica, what did you roll?
Well, I rolled a 16, but
Any effort?
I am trained in initiative, so I rolled a 16.
All right, so
Oh, I forgot about spending effort.
Why would you want to spend effort on initiative? You only get to spend one effort around.
Oh, then yeah,
I wouldn't spend it. I wouldn't spend it on initiative. I actually get. I'm trained in initiative. I'm Ristum.
right, so Ristum goes first.
Well, so far.
Harry.
8.
Oh, good.
Apparently, Ristum goes
Going
first.
first.
This one's definitely going first.
Yep.
Sidri.
5.
Sidri rolled a 5.
Yep. Sidri is nursing.
That's true.
She's nursing that wound. And Yamu.
4. So we're all exceedingly fast today.
Yes.
I are.
Numenera is dumb. Oh, there's a thing.
Kill it. Smash it.
I have inability in like everything Numenera.
You're like, when is there going to be something to kill? Oh,
Yay!
You're on.
Okay.
let me kill it.
So, Ristum and Larry, you are up first.
So this thing that has pierced my friend's hand, is it still piercing my friend's hand, or is it on the ground?
I dropped it.
Okay, good. All right. So my character moves. Ristum moves to smash it with her polearm.
Okay.
Really? Okay, so I apparently pommeled the wrong wrench on the ground with a fork.
Okay.
It
Thump.
bounced. It bounced. That was like a 14. I'm like,
So you-
no!
You hit
dodged.
the ground and it thumps right next to it, and it kind of like bounces up onto your polearm and starts slithering up.
Oh, the hell it does.
That is no bueno.
Larry.
Larry will throw the readied razor ring.
Okay.
At the polearm?
Yeah. My defense, not attack. Dang it. So it's a 10 on the die.
Okay. So what's your damage?
2 plus 1, so I can do 3.
Right. So you cut off a chunk of its tail that hits the ground with a wet thunk.
Yeah.
And kind of,
Out of curiosity, does the razor ring like return? Is it one of those kind of things, or does it?
I think you have
It's
to like retrieve it.
okay.
Good thing you have two.
Cool. Switch out to a different weapon then.
Yeah.
We need boomerang
Actually.
razor rings.
Right.
This is a good intrusion moment.
No!
For who?
Is it for Monica or is
It's
it?
for Monica.
Oh, okay.
So the razor ring thunks solidly into your polearm. And stays there.
Oh no.
Okay.
But it weakens the pole portion of your polearm.
That's my only weapon. This is a problem. I'm keeping your razor ring. Thank you for replacing it.
I like this knife. I am keeping it. That was my favorite knife.
You broke my favorite toy.
It's not broken. It's just
Weaker.
weakened.
Liable to break.
Which, in a weapon, is
Probably pretty bad. That's bad.
that's not your best choice.
Nope.
So the thing continues slithering up your polearm.
Drop your pull up, drop your pull up, drop your pull up.
I what if it were my turn? But I've already done my turn.
It kind of like rears back, and it's now trailing not just slime, but this like bluish blood behind it. And it kind of comes up, and it opens up its face, and its mouth opens up into this razor
good.
fan, basically full of these razor sharp teeth.
Yes.
Boy, I'm real glad I dropped that.
Right?
And it goes to bite you.
Okay. So I'm actually going to spend some speed on that. I'm going to spend my one effort in speed. But I have an edge, so it will only cost me 2. 14. Reduced by 1.
Okay.
I'm going to go with that.
Okay. You kind of do a little.
So
bit
apparently
of
I do drop it.
drop your pole arm, and it fails to bite you.
Good.
Hooray!
Yay, we're Team Ristum.
We're not Team Ristum.
I'm Team Ristum. I'm Team Ristum. That's all that matters.
You're not Team Ristum.
I am Team Ristum. Anyway,
Ristum is Team Ristum.
yes.
So
Because Ristum speaks about
Yamu,
Ristum's
third person.
In the third person, yes.
Yamu,
Wait, no, it's got to be
Yamu.
no.
Yeah.
I'm 4. She's 5.
I know. Yamu.
There are 2 wrenches.
Dang it.
The other wrench isn't moving.
Good. Let's
It-
leave it that way.
Should have kicked that one.
It doesn't appear to be moving at all.
Okay.
This is like the Numenera version of Memex.
You're kind of like
Nom, 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 nom.
watching this whole like horror show go on.
Right. Waiting
and-
to move.
Something drips on you
Oh,
from atop
the greenhouse.
the hanging bit of structure.
Dripping is never good.
How? Yeah. All right. I look up.
Why
not?
All right,
Another one
fine.
of these things is going, and it opens up, and all these teeth on this fanned out face of it,
Right.
and it leaps at you.
All right.
How does a slug leap?
Don't ask too many questions,
They're
Scott.
not actually slugs. They're monsters.
They're weird.
Oh, they're just weird. Okay, that's totally
They're
different.
rubbery.
This is Numenera, right? You've played this before.
Okay. So I have phase sprint,
Okay.
which I can run up to long distance so long as I take no other actions. During my action until the beginning of my
Actually,
next turn.
not currently your action. You're being attacked. So
Okay,
it's-
so I
it's on
can't
its
I can't
action.
actually do that.
No.
Yeah, so drop it.
Okay.
Drop the thing that's
Drop
in
the
the
thing
air.
that's on.
Right, so
Oh,
this is
wait.
speed defense.
So this is a speed. Well, luckily speed is where I have my edge, so that's good. So basically, I'm just going to keeping an eye at the top to see that there's no other things, creepy crawlies.
Yes.
I'm going to move myself out of the range of the one that's
Okay.
Getting ready to pounce.
coming down. Okay. So I am going to spend some effort on that, clearly, because ew. So when I do that, because of my one edge, that only costs me 2 points, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So I rolled a 17 again.
Nice.
So hooray for 17.
This evening sponsored by the number 17.
And the letters O and F.
Yeah.
Z.
Oh, right. What was I thinking? O and Z.
So with my 17 and with spending the effort on the speed, that actually turns it into an 18?
No.
It just functions as...
difficulties.
Okay, that's right.
So if it was a difficulty 5, you would have had to roll a 15, but by spending the effort, it lowered
Knocked
it to a 4, and so you only had to get a 12 or better.
Right.
I don't know what the difficulty was, but that would
But
be...
if,
I can say that was not the difficulty. That's okay, because what you made
Was good enough.
plenty good.
all right.
So you're like, whoa, and the thing kind of like hits the ground, kind of rears back and starts slithering towards you, but not particularly. I mean, it hits the ground and kind of like moves like it's.
I
gonna
meant
get
to do
ready
that.
move again.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay,
cat.
let me
Like a
ask
cat
you this then. Since it costs me a speed point to do my phase sprint because I've already used a speed effort.
It's not the same.
Okay.
You can still activate that ability.
Okay. Hooray.
When the 4 comes around.
So Sidri and Yamu, you guys are up now.
Oh. Okay. Well, all I have is a knife, and I don't really want to put my hand close to that again.
Chicken.
All right, that hurt.
No, that is not a chicken thing.
That hurt. I mean, I am fascinated, but also have a weary distrust now.
I can't imagine why.
She's been hurt before.
I know.
I've been burned.
I know, so why? Have you seen the scar?
Can I just kind of hide behind my dear friend, Ristam?
Sure, you can cower behind Ristam.
Well, no, actually, I have a ray emitter. This probably seems a little bit overkill.
No.
No, there's never overkill.
I
Killing is
have
good.
a glove that can project a ray of destructive energy
Okay,
that inflicts 6 points of damage.
sure.
So I'm going to use that on... Well, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to use it on the one that's on the pole arm right now.
Oh my god, there goes my pole arm for total and good. Oh no.
Okay,
That's okay. Its blood
It's
is probably
happening.
acidic or something.
Yeah, it'll
Eating away
probably
at
do
the
it
happening
anyway.
right
Yeah,
now.
it's happening.
So do I have to do anything to use
yes,
that?
you'll need to make a speed based attack roll.
Oh, good. My
So
forte.
You can adjust that however you want.
It's not. No, I'm just going to
So you're just gonna
use
roll
it. Yeah, I guess.
Okay. So go ahead and roll it.
I already have a +1 cost on speed. Ooh, 5.
You roll
So,
a 5.
yes.
You
I
can always
did.
spend an XP to reroll that if you like.
I think I will. I'm gonna, yeah. That was my second 5 in a row.
Oh,
19.
yay!
Much better.
There you go.
That was worth the experience. Yes.
And that actually does extra damage. So,
3.
I think it's 3 extra damage. So you did 9 points of damage to an already wounded slug creature.
Did I disintegrate it?
Blacken it, and it just crumbles up and
You put salt on it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Well done.
It's sun-dried now.
I have salt in my inventory.
and it's dead,
Okay.
blackened and unmoving.
Cool. I did it.
Yeah, you did a thing.
Except there's still another one.
There is another one. I don't know about that one, though.
Not yet. We're about to. I think she's going to scream.
Right. So the one that was so the one that was attacking
Siduri
me
is also-
is now on the ground. Yes. Okay. I have a medium hammer.
Okay.
So I shall take the medium hammer and attempt to whack them all.
Oh, I love it.
Shut the medium hammer and lay it down.
Alright, so you're gonna put the hammer down.
I am going to
on the slug creature.
attempt to bring the hammer down. Yes.
With force and intent.
With force. Because what's fun is that on previous games of Numenera that I played, I have been the lightning, so now I am the hammer.
There you go.
Okay, Thor, make this happen.
All right.
Do I take anything out of my speed for doing that attack?
Nat 20.
Yes!
All right. How much damage does the hammer do?
I have no idea.
So does medium.
Medium.
Did you? Yeah. So no, a hammer is 4, and then you do an extra 4, so it's a total of 8.
Total 8. So you bring the hammer down on it, and it just... And there's blue ooze slooshing all over the ground underneath, away from where you hit it.
Nice. I probably got some on my boots.
You
Bless
pick
you.
it up, you pick up the hammer, and it's
Gesundheit.
just goo.
The hammer's
Nice
good?
hit.
Okay, the thing is...
The hammer.
It's just goo.
Nice.
Nice hit.
There is gore all over your hammer.
Ugh. Just kind of wipe it on the
My
grass.
kill was a lot cleaner.
That's true.
But less satisfying.
I don't know, it was pretty
I
satisfying.
was pretty satisfied with that.
That was personal retribution.
So was mine, kind of, because mine was gonna get me.
Yeah, that was gross.
So I look up at the ceiling.
Okay.
Are there
Anybody
any
else?
more?
You look around. You've got assessing danger. You want to go ahead and give me another roll?
Sure.
There's still that one on the ground.
I also have sensing danger. May I
3
sense
this
danger?
time. I think we're safe.
I got a 5. I don't confirm.
We are.
We are fine. We
safe.
got them all.
Great.
Okay.
I am 100% sure we are safe.
Absolutely. This is no bad could come from this, right? We got them all. I don't see anything. It's fine. Of course, I'm looking at my pole arm that's damaged. You owe me a new club, man. I'm keeping this.
So I have a question. Is my ray emitter used up now?
Yes.
Oh.
Boo.
Yeah, it was
It was a good use.
Okay.
It's not all it lasted.
Yeah.
My hammer's reusable, though, huh? How about that?
That's true. There's a difference.
So with all the the chaos and craziness that just transpired, Blaze and Malia walk over to the rest of you. They were clearly getting ready to fight, but it was unnecessary.
Clearly.
Sure.
We took care of it.
We can help slug.
Sure they were.
What about the last one that's still sleeping? I guess.
The last one that's still sleeping.
No, there's no danger here.
Oh, no, there's no danger here. Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, there was for
We
sure
poked the
another
other
wrench.
We poked the other wrench.
No. I
Yes, I poked the other wrench. I got a pole arm.
I already got bit once.
It looks.
You have form.
Dead.
Well, I still have a pole arm. It's just
you
damaged.
Like poke it, and it looks like a buried piece of metal.
Oh,
And
then
it-
I pick it up.
And it's not soft and squishy like the other piece of metal. Okay.
So they really are mimics of some kind. I wonder
Yep.
what that other one looked like before it attacked.
The
I don't
roof.
The roof.
The roof is.
The roof is on fire.
Yeah, it was actually probably it was attached to the
Eaves.
the thing that was hanging.
Oh.
The gutter.
No.
No, the
The monkeys?
it's like
obelisk.
it's an obelisk.
Hanging the ankle.
It's another obelisk.
And
Well-
it was hanging on that somewhere.
God.
As soon as Ristom pokes it and it like clangs, I guess, then I'm gonna like swoop it and grab it. So that was my goal all along. And now I have one.
Okay. So Ristom returns to also checking out stuff.
Okay. It might have been a wrench or something at one time, but it's so rusted and
Age.
and aged
Okay.
that it is a club at best.
I may need one of
Rusted
those.
wrench.
I may need a club at best. And did she not? I was going to say, do you have any other weapons?
I have a knife.
Okay. Yeah, my medium pole arm is now
It looks like some
waiting
kind
to
of
explode.
electro knife in the picture. It's like hooked up to wires or something. I don't know.
Cool.
Didn't really want to get close to that again.
So anyway, you can see this panel underneath there still
Let's take a look at the
ambulance.
can salvage Numenera, but I really don't have any Numenera knowledge per se.
I have crafting, but I don't know how much that would help here. I am specialized in crafting Numenera.
Okay.
Well, if
So-
you can craft something, then
You think I'd be able to...
reconstruct what's been deconstructed.
Right.
Reverse engineer it.
A little. Mostly that is the Nano's role to identify.
Which unfortunately we don't have one because we had to choose wisely.
That's
But we
okay.
can do Numenera untrained.
untrained.
Well,
Well,
you
I-
have it, don't you?
I am trained in identifying
Oh.
Yeah, Yamu's
functions
Yamu
and
has.
powers.
Yeah, Yamu
Functions and
has.
powers, yeah.
Yeah, so
You're the only one who doesn't have. You actually have an inability.
Crafting, salvaging, understanding, inability.
Yeah, Illyria's useless at this point.
I am clearly a city guard or something.
all right. So I will roll my understanding then to see, or my identifying. So yeah, that was a 3.
Okay.
I'd like to also try, just because. Wow, an 8. Wow.
There's no danger here.
No, there's not, and this doesn't appear to be Numenera at all.
There's no Numenera here. What are you talking about?
Looking at it, going, I can't tell what it is. And
I wouldn't salvage this.
Inability, but 15.
A 3 difficulty? No, 4. It would be
Difficulty
that would
4.
still be a difficulty 4.
so you're looking at it and you're like,
Are you sure? It looks like something I've seen before.
Pretty sure that's Numenera.
I'm pretty certain it's Numenera, and it probably did something.
I bet it's one of those stupid zap thingies.
Hey, Sidri, what do you think? He thinks it's Numenera.
I mean, can I roll with the crafting? Because I'm
You can
also
still do
trained
it
in
untrained.
You
engineering.
can still do it untrained.
So it just would be... that's a 10.
We're all pretty sure it's not Numenera.
People, you guys are all staring at it, going, and Blaze comes over and he's like,
Good old Blaze.
looks at it, and he says, he points to Judy. He's like,
O'Leary.
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 Well, we never really did introduce ourselves, so
Oh, once you fight with people, you know their name.
O'Leary's got it not too far off base.
It's a shocker thingy.
Well, it's sort of like a zappy thingy that would keep things out, but in this case, it seems that it probably kept harmful mental viruses out.
Okay.
This is kind of points to a couple of bits inside that have really kind of blackened and charred, and it's like a dark patch inside the device. It's like, if we got in here and got a closer look at the parts that are missing, we might see why it is. But you can see here, he points to these lines of black. That part's burnt out there, but that looks like a collection pod. It probably collected mental viruses.
Okay.
so now that it's busted,
Are they all free?
And Lolija comes over and pries off the panel and pulls out some stuff, and there's this odor, and she's like, oh. Looks at some of the things that she says. Oh. I think I remember something about this. Like on the tip of my tongue. This looks like a virus that might... I think it might have affected people's memories.
but you don't remember.
Concerning.
That seems strangely appropriate.
Slowly make people forget basic skills and life experiences. But I bet if we replace the burnt out components, we could reverse the effect, essentially recapturing the viruses.
We could certainly
And how would we do that?
try to do that.
So, Blaze is like, well, this is clearly, he again looks back at the sigil that's marked on it, the work of Ovan and Zeph when they were working together. And I think in the spirit of that, we should work together. And I believe there's an installation not far from here that would probably have just the parts we need. They used to have a workshop.
Okay.
The brothers. And if we can find our way to the brothers' workshop, in this case probably you, because we'll need to... but I have some ideas.
You'll need to what?
Yeah, finish that sentence.
The brothers had a workshop.
Right. And Riston will need to do what?
Well, if you guys can get to the workshop and find the piece that we need,
Okay.
we can fix it.
So can I try to just take a closer look at this burnt out part and see if I can try to identify, I guess, what kind of piece would go there?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So is that a...
That's a Numenera roll.
Okay. One mo again. 18.
Yes.
Much better.
You're pretty certain you know exactly the kind of piece that needs to go in that spot.
Cool.
You would recognize it on sight.
Good.
How long does that thing record for?
Only 90 seconds.
Okay, so it's long since stopped.
Probably, yeah.
But I also have the ability to, I can spend an XP to retain a familiarity permanently. Can I also do that to remember the specific area of the...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, Lee's just like, the brothers, he's right, the brothers had a workshop. It was in Brymac Morass.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
It's probably your best bet for finding the replacement parts that we need. So, and Blaze is like, yeah, I'm already working on this, and he's down there. You can see he's got a piece of paper out, and he's got a piece of charcoal, and he is sketching you guys a map. And then he hands you an amulet off of his belt.
To whom does he hand it?
He will actually offer it to one of the strangers from the other village as a...
He's clearly forgotten who they are.
So he will hand that to Sidri.
Sidri's
No,
from
I'm
our
from the
town.
village.
Yamu. I'm looking at my notes on my screen. I pulled the wrong name. He goes and hands it to Yamu.
Okay. I'll take a look at it. And in fact...
He says, it's really easy to operate. You just do this and this.
You can follow that.
So it's a small, thin device. And he says,
And what does it do?
it is basically a metallic disc on a chain, and it can be used to record and send transmissions to another transmission amulet up to a mile away.
Oh, handy.
It can also be used to hear a transmission sent from another amulet up to a mile away. Automatically receives messages when in range.
So is this workshop within a mile, do we think?
You think so?
Okay.
He said the Brymac Morass isn't that far, and he just said, this you can. It's like I used to have a cipher that would have been really useful because you guys could have teleported right back, but I don't still have it. I've forgotten what I did with it.
So super useful to mention.
Sounds about right there.
we're gonna stay here and study the installation, make sure we know how to put it back together properly, and try to mitigate as much of the virus as possible. And you all push on, find in the Brymac morass the brothers' workshop, bring back the component that we need, and we'll get this thing up in the morning like that.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Before we leave the area, though, Ristam wants to take a quick look around and see if she can salvage something, whether a Numenera that's not related to the piece that we need, or another replacement weapon, since somebody broke hers.
Okay. Well, it's not broken.
Not yet.
You are so whiny about
Not yet. Well, you're gonna be really sad when I don't have a weapon. 14.
I've never seen anybody so upset about a stick.
Did you see this stick? I mean, this is an amazing looking stick.
So
It's her fly
proud of
swatter.
her stick. Yeah, not a
I
fan. Not a fan.
Everybody else
Okay,
has one.
understandable.
Not
So
a
anyway,
fan.
Jeff is not the fan.
Jeff is not the fan.
Jeff is not digging it. I am not digging it. You know, if he's a foot, it's
Laying
actually
low.
a little bit louder and a little bit deeper. There was a lawnmower I heard earlier. It's a little bit more like that.
So 14. Do I find any Numenera or other interesting things for salvaging purposes?
You kind of like root around in things, and there appears to be a broken bit of device here.
Would you like me to reach it for you?
He just needs one for now. Well, you can hand him the rest of them. He's going to need them eventually.
So, poking around, you do come across this strange broken piece of something down below, and it almost looks like a lens,
Okay.
and you're pretty certain that it probably has some ability that you could muster out of it.
Okay.
Do you want any?
Sure. I don't have any Numenera knowledge, but sure. 8.
Fortunately for you,
Okay.
it's not a very high one.
Well, that's good.
So
Maybe.
it's a level 1,
Okay.
and basically it's this sort of glassy bit with just enough juice that if you held it up and activated it, it'll make a change in your eye and give you the ability to see in the dark for an hour.
Okay. You're short a cipher though, right? Didn't
I'm
you use one?
technically short 2 ciphers now.
Okay. I toss that to you.
Oh, sweet, thanks.
I think it'll help you see in the dark. I don't need that. I already see in the dark. Or
you?
maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. But I dance this with dark matter, so
I think
maybe
those are
I
different
don't.
things.
Maybe I don't. I thought this one allowed me to. I guess not.
Do you want it back?
Nope, because I can't carry it.
Oh, okay.
The last thing we want is for me to explode.
Thanks.
Nope, I have all my ciphers.
I'm just going to clarify. The last thing you want is for you to explode.
Right, I mean, I've already had all sorts of other problems. Yeah.
Already, yeah.
The idea of exploding is a terrible idea.
Man, these guys are whiny.
They're going to be awfully thankful when we save their lives again.
These people are soft.
Right?
So soft. It's like trick-or-treaters who go out in cars. That's soft. Just because it's raining, use a car for trick-or-treat.
That's a little pre-show Easter egg.
Callbacks.
All right.
Viewer.
Huh?
So do we still have a viewer?
I don't know. I can't tell. I think we do. I don't know how to check. I could see it before, but I can't see now.
No,
No,
we only have one viewer.
it must be me.
And
Oh, great. Now you've activated the...
I didn't mean to start a color check.
Good job.
Of course.
So are we at a good stopping place for a break?
Yes, we
Yes.
are at a
Okay.
good place.
Fantastic.
Yay!
I'm headed upstairs.
All right. You want to shut down our feed for a second?
I will keep the feed running, but I'm going to transition to the other screen.